40 degrees, schools shut, hospitals overwhelmed. France is baking. Now the country is fighting over something once considered taboo: air conditioning. Politicians who opposed it are changing their tune. As Europe gets hotter, an uncomfortable question is emerging. Can ideology survive a heatwave? France's record-breaking heatwave is forcing one of Europe's biggest climate policy debates into the spotlight. Not about cutting emissions, but about whether air conditioning has become a necessity. As temperatures climbed close to 40 degrees Celsius and France recorded its hottest June day on record. Thousands of schools were forced to close, hospitals came under mounting pressure, and politicians across the spectrum found themselves rethinking decades of opposition to widespread air conditioning. According to government-backed estimates, only about 25% of French households have air conditioning, compared with around 50% in Spain and Italy, and nearly 90% in the United States and Japan. The debate has now reached the highest political level. Far-right leader Marine Le Pen has called for a nationwide plan Clim to equip schools, hospitals and homes with air conditioning, arguing that the government must act as temperatures become increasingly dangerous.
The government is there to give direction, to make a decision, yes or no, for air conditioning, and to drive the implementation of that decision, including through local authorities, but first through the sectors they oversee. That is all we are asking of them.
Le Pen's party, the National Rally, has also proposed zero-interest government-backed renovation loans. Although French media report that the plan has not yet been formally costed or fully detailed. The proposal marks a striking shift for a party that previously dismissed climate science. RN spokesperson Thomas Ménager acknowledged that change.
In politics, you have to be able to admit that you haven't been clear and that you've even said some foolish things.
Despite embracing the language of climate adaptation, critics argue the party still focuses only on managing the consequences of global warming rather than tackling its causes. Meanwhile, France's environmental movement is also softening its position. For years, Green politicians argued that air conditioning merely masked the symptoms of climate change while worsening it through higher electricity consumption, refrigerant emissions, and urban heat release. But with schools shutting down and hospitals struggling, even Green leaders now concede that some cooling systems are becoming unavoidable. For many residents, however, the debate has become deeply personal.
It's been really difficult, I must say. I'm just opening the windows, putting my fan on, I'm taking a shower right before bed, I'm sleeping with wet towels over me just to try to survive, honestly, and just try to sleep, because when you're tired, when you're hot, you feel miserable, you can't work. I've had a hard time focusing, at work and stuff.
Scientists say the crisis reflects a much larger climate trend. Claire Barnes, research associate at the Grantham Institute for Climate Change and the Environment, told Reuters that the broader driver behind Europe's increasingly dangerous heat waves remains climate change.
Obviously, heat waves have always happened. There will always be heat waves. A heat wave is a particular atmospheric circulation pattern, or it's caused by a particular circulation pattern that traps the hot air and means that for a period, the temperatures are higher than they would normally be. But this heat wave and reaching these record-breaking temperatures that we've seen in the UK and France and that we may still see over the weekend in other parts of Europe, this would not have been possible until very recently without human-caused warming.
Barnes added that scientific evidence overwhelmingly links the intensity of modern heat waves to fossil fuel-driven climate change.
There is so much evidence that heat waves around the world, temperatures around the world are being increased by human-caused fossil-fueled warming. And we know that this is one of the areas that is warming the most rapidly and that these temperatures just wouldn't have been possible without human-caused warming. For
France, the debate is no longer simply about comfort. For France, the debate is no longer simply about comfort. It has become a broader question of how Europe adapts to increasingly frequent climate extremes, balancing public health, energy consumption, urban planning, and long-term climate resilience in a continent where record-breaking heat is becoming the new normal. The water was supposed to offer relief. Instead, across France, it has become a graveyard. 40 people have drowned in unsupervised waters since June 18th, as a record-breaking heatwave drove desperate crowds toward rivers, lakes, and the sea. French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu broke the news, calling an emergency meeting of ministers as the country registered its hottest day since records began in 1947.
There is a tragic scourge of drownings. The latest figures we've received are 40 deaths since 18th of June. Most of the victims are young people.
In Pissos, the thermometer hit 44.3 degrees Celsius. Bordeaux recorded 42.1 Celsius, one of many cities seeing unprecedented values for any month of the year. 54 French departments now sit under red heat alert, with overnight temperatures the hottest on record since 1947. The heat has reached into daily life in ways few expected. The Eiffel Tower shut its doors 8 hours early on June 23rd. The Louvre will close 2 hours early from June 24th through to the 27th, admitting in a statement that its historic stone walls were never built for a warming world. Officials in the Paris region have urged residents to work from home and avoid rail journeys altogether, warning that the tracks themselves cannot withstand temperatures above 50 degrees. In the southwest, engineers at the Golfech nuclear plant shut down a reactor after river water used for cooling crept past safe limits. Climate scientist Claire Barnes traced the cause back across the Mediterranean to a stalled mass of hot air pulling heat directly from the Sahara.
It's drawing warm air up from North Africa, from the Sahara, and that's why we have this really intense heat. It's very slow moving, and it means there's no wind, no breeze, for respite.
The heat has not stayed within French borders. Italy declared red alerts in 15 cities, including Rome and Milan, where blackouts followed a surge in air conditioning use, with Turin hit just as hard. Germany reported 5 swimming deaths over the weekend. Nearly all of Spain remains under alert, with Almeria recording its 3rd straight night above 30 degrees. In London, speaking as Britain braced for its own red warning, UN Chief Antonio Guterres delivered a blunt verdict on the continent's mood.
London isn't just cooling, it's cooking.
What started as a French crisis has become a continental one. From Bordeaux to Almeria, from Rome to London, Europe is being tested by heat its infrastructure was never designed to handle. Its rivers running warm, its railways straining, its hospitals filling. Météo France warns the records already broken this week may not survive the next.